Now let's construct the prompt. How do you construct the prompt? So now you take the question that you have, which is the initial question which you had here. And then for context, what do you pass? You pass all of the raw information from article 1 and article 3. You don't pass A1E and A3E. You pass A1 and A3. You pass A1 and A3. The actual articles itself you pass. You create this prompt now. You append article 1 and article 3, and then you pass them as one large paragraph or one large chunk of text. You're saying, hey, now you answer this question from this particular article, from this context. What do you do after this? You pass this to the LLM. You pass this particular prompt to the LLM. No, you don't need to decode the article. The decoded part of the article is already here. The raw article is here. You don't need to decode anything. You are simply just trying to extract the similarity. Here it is the same as this one. We are just using this whole technique to filter, to retrieve the relevant question, the relevant articles. We're not doing anything else beyond that here. This is time saving and chances of getting accurate responses are higher. Exactly. And it is cheaper because you don't need to pass the complete corpus. You only pass the relevant articles into the model. Thereby, the cost is also cheaper in this particular case because the number of tokens are smaller. Now, my friends, this is exactly how ChatGPT works. This is what ChatGPT does. When you ask a question to ChatGPT, what does ChatGPT do? Basically, ChatGPT does something very similar to this. It takes a question, finds the relevant pieces of information behind the scenes that it needs to put together to respond, extracts all of it, summarizes it, and then takes a question, takes the article, and then passes it into the LLM to extract the final response. So ChatGPT is not just a model. ChatGPT is a system, is a product. ChatGPT is powered by the GPT models behind the scenes. ChatGPT is much more than just the large language model. Yeah, man, that's it. So instead of putting 0.95 over here, put 98. Or maybe just say, look, I'm going to pick the top 3 articles, top 3 chunks. There is a concept called as chunking, which is essentially taking the piece of text and then breaking it down into equal sized pieces. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But you'll have to make a trade-off. Either you pick a fewer articles, or you pick part of the articles, or you pick maybe use a larger model. Like for example, in the case of something like Gemini can have 1 million tokens. Yeah, 1 million tokens also is not a big deal now, right? 1 million tokens is what 10 books. 128 tokens is one book. 12 million tokens is 10 books. 1 million tokens is 10 books. That's hardly anything. No big difference. But you get the point, right? You get what I'm trying to say. So the thing is, you will have to make a trade-off somewhere. I'll show you how to do that as well. But this, my friends, is retrieval augmented generation. Whatever we just did is retrieval augmented generation. This is RAG. Okay. Now, let's actually take a look at the example. Now, let's actually go back here. Let's take a look at this example. Let's see how we could do RAG. So, in this example, what we are going to do, so this is, by the way, a good, so you have a question, you convert the question into an embedding, right? And then you have a document or a bunch of documents. You break that document down into smaller chunks, create embeddings. From the question, you find the most similar embeddings. You pass that similar embeddings along with the question into your LLM and generate the response. That's basically what it is. So now, guys, let's quickly take a look at how to put this in action. So what we are going to do, my friends, is we're going to extract. So we're going to be taking. There is OpenAI has already provided um, some kind of embeddings for us, but I will of course show you how you can extract the embeddings yourself as well. Um, Let me actually start with that. No? Let me actually show you how you can access any of the embedding models. So let's look at the embedding models, embeddings. So if you take, for example, this is using, I think this will be using one of the embedding models. So there are only a few embedding models that are there right now. Text embedding 3 small, text embedding 3 large. These are the latest embedding models that they have. What you could do is this is how you can actually generate. Let me actually copy this for you. So from client.embeddings.create. So instead of earlier, if you remember, what were we doing? We were doing client.completions.create, client.chat.completion. That is what we were doing, chat completions.create. Instead, here what we are going to be doing is we're going to be doing client.embeddings.create, right? And then what we are going to be doing is I can pass any text here. This is let's say um, we'll take the same question from here, right? Where is that question? Let's take the same question. Let's go back here. I'm just taking any question, for example. So if you have this particular piece of text,